So the simplest way of getting from point A to point B is a straight line. So I'm going to aim at the target and just hit the ball dead straight at the flag. No. So that one's setting off a little bit right. Kind of just staying out to the right. Not an awful shot by any means, but most golfers spend their whole golfing life trying to perfect, or maybe even just hit the odd dead straight shot. But to hit the ball dead straight, you have to be absolutely perfect, and it's almost impossible. So I would stress, if you've been working on that, stop it. I'm going to show you how drawing or fading the golf ball is actually much simpler than you think, and actually just a simple change at address will give you the ability to draw and fade the ball at will. Okay, so did you like how that sounded? So what we need to understand is the golf ball only knows a few very minor things. It understands where the golf club points, which is incredibly close to where the ball sets off. And then with an iron particularly, just the direction the club's traveling through the bottom. So is it traveling to the right from the inside? Is it traveling straight? Or is it traveling left out to in? So if my club face pointed at the target, bang at the target, and the path was dead straight, that would be my perfect shot. But I don't see anybody who naturally hits the ball straight. So if I were to hit just a stock shot for me, I've got 6-iron in my hand, so the ball just slightly forward of centre. Just a tiny bit out of the toe. Now, it's very windy down here today, so TrackMan will normalise the ball flight. But we can see there, a little draw. The path has been 3.4 degrees from the inside. The club face was very, very slightly close to the path, but still right of the target. So the ball set off right and drew left with 67 feet of shape. Now, I know if you're watching this, you might go, yeah, but I don't draw the ball, I slice it. Don't worry, this is going to cover drawers of the ball, faders, slicers, hookers of the golf ball. You're all included in today's video. So what we need to change is the path that the club's moving on, but try and keep that club face maybe not a million miles away from target to begin with. Obviously, if it's a draw, it would need to be slightly right of target, but close to the path. Fade, left of target, but open to the path. So what I'm going to say is, in theory, if your swing is fairly consistent, and most golfers are a lot more consistent than they give themselves credit for, by just moving your ball position, it should change the path of the golf club. So if I take my normal position and move the ball further back in my stance, still try and get the club face pretty close to the target and make my swing. So a tiny bit thin, but we can see the path much more exaggerated, 9.4 degrees from the inside, club face close to the path, right of target, but then 97 feet of shape. Now interesting, wasn't it? I move the ball back and the ball draws more. So then I go the other way and I move the ball forward in my stance, almost to where driver would be, and make my normal swing. So we see the path 5 degrees left or out to in. The club face 2.2 degrees open to the target, but 7 degrees open to the path, and then 18 feet of curve from left to right. So I know what you're thinking. How has just moving the ball position around changed the path? Because so many golfers want to stand there and feel that, hang on, do I need to drop it more on the inside for the draw, or do I need to feel that swing more out to in? Now, what I want you to understand is when you stand to the golf ball, you stand to the side of the ball. Therefore, even though your swing is a circle, it's on an angle. So you can see as you're coming down, the club's traveling from the inside, it would reach its lowest point, and then as it moves back up, it will move left or out to in. So the theory being, if I move the ball further back in the golf swing, I'm catching the ball earlier on that arc. Therefore, the club's naturally going to be moving more from the inside. Likewise, for me, because I tend to draw the ball, I don't mind feeling the ball a little bit further forward. Not necessarily that I'm catching it on the way up, but because it's late around the arc, the path would be a little bit straighter. And it's a really good way that golfers don't genuinely understand that if they can just move that ball position around, that's going to fix their path. So if you're a golfer who predominantly swings over the top, if you're a slicer of the golf ball, you need to fix that club face first, but that's where trying to feel that you get that club face pointing more at target, set the ball off on line. So my club face there should be pretty decent. I know I'm going to be a little bit from the inside, but we can see the face was actually a tiny bit right of target, actually slightly open to path, and that's just curved a little bit. So not a full shot there, and that's just where I tend to get hands a little bit lower, and then my lie angle on that tends to look a bit left. That's another video altogether. But once you can kind of control that club face being towards the target, if you're somebody who slices the ball, then you could move that ball a little back, maybe not all the way back, but a little further back than normal. And then you can see that path, instead of being out to in, is going to be a little bit from the inside with good club face control, and you might even start drawing it. Now, definitely for me, and this obviously will be more relevant for the golfers who draw the ball and hook the ball. Definitely for me as a kid, I played a lot of links golf, so very windy, and the idea was to keep the flight down. I've always been from the inside with a closed club face. So my problem was always that I'd try and keep the flight down by moving the ball position back and could just end up miles from the inside, 10 degrees inside, maybe more as a kid, club face really closed, ball going nowhere and no accuracy at all. So even for me nowadays, it helps me take a bit of shape off my shot if instead of just having the ball central or just slightly centre, just a bit further forward than I would normally, more if I'm not swinging at my best, and then I can make my normal swing and still feel that even if that's going to shape a tiny bit, which again, let TrackMan normalise, we can see it's very, very close to target, because I don't feel that I want to get the ball shaping a lot. But the more you can stand there and be aware of, understand what your swing is to begin with. So if you're shaping the ball from left to right, your path is left of the club face. Now, it depends where that club face is pointing. If it's left of target, you might be playable. If it's right of target, you're in trouble. But it's always trying to feel that can you get that club face back close to where you've been at address? If you can, and then you just need to change that path. If you want to curve the ball more from right to left, move that ball back, keep the club at target. And we can see, I know, comment below, you might say that's a hook rather than a draw, but that's going to shape more from right to left. Definitely going to take the trouble on the right-hand side out of play. If I want to work the ball the other way, I could just, for me, move the ball a long way forward. Still struggle a little bit getting it to curve a lot, but you can see a massive change in the path. 4.5 degrees out to in. Club face was open to the path, but just not quite open enough to get back to target. But it's a really simple way without feeling that you need to change feet position, body alignment, and swing on a different line, which does work, and absolutely you can do that. But if there's a really simple way of feeling that you can keep your movement as similar as possible and put the ball in a different part of the arc, so start controlling the club better, influencing the ball more, hitting more high quality golf shots, and ultimately enjoying your golf more than ever.